This is Michael L. Dublin Sr., wanting to bring you another word of encouragement to kind of probe you a little bit and to challenge you basically the way that I've been challenged. Every week I'm able to bring a message, but before I bring a message to the congregation that I'm presenting to, I've already dealt with many personal issues, social issues, political issues. And so, what I'm always trying to do is to probe you to think about some issues that may come out of the scriptures, but they are life issues that all of us has to face at some point or the other. And some questions and some thoughts, some issues for me at moments are more profound than ever. We live in a time when there is no real understanding of an absolute truth. There are no absolute facts. There's nothing indisputable. Everything is based on political correctness or how one perceives life to be, and that becomes the standard. So everyone has their own standard of what truth is. Now, truth has to be broken down. It has to be challenged. We have to be able to look at so many different perspectives. But isn't there an absolute truth when it comes to one's relationship with Christ? Now, everybody who reads this or listens to this rather may not be Christian, but whatever you are and whoever you are and whatever your basis is, isn't life much more, isn't it much easier to navigate when you have a belief in truth that you can stand on? It does not mean that you have to castigate everybody else for their truth. But don't you find peace in standing for your own truth? I want to share just a snippet of a story that we find in the book of John. Jesus is going before Pilate, and if you are familiar with the story, you already know this. But we're in John chapter 18, and Jesus is going before Pilate. And he says to Pilate, Pilate asks him a question. He says, "You are a king then?" And Jesus answered him and says, "You're right in saying that I'm a king. In fact, for this reason I was born. And for this I came into the world to testify to the truth. Everyone on the side of truth listens to me." What is truth? Pilate asked. That is the question. What is truth? Jesus told him that he came so that he would know what truth was. Pilate is under pressure. The Jews have brought Jesus there to persecute him, and in fact, they want him killed. But these are the religious people of that day. This is not the Jewish nation itself, but it is indeed the Pharisees, those who were a part of the overall religious order of the day. They did not find Jesus' teachings to be acceptable. They did not think he was the Messiah. So they pursued him, saying that, in fact, rather than being the truth, that he was a deception, that he was a phony, that he was a lie, and they wanted to kill him. That seems pretty extreme, but this is what's going on. But think about Pilate for a moment. He is trying, as a Roman government official, to deal with the people so that they don't go and falsely accuse him of worshiping another king, costing him his life. His wife has come to him and told him, don't have anything to do with this man, because she had a dream that he was a righteous man. And so Pilate's wife warns him, look, leave him alone. He's a righteous man. Don't have anything to do with this. So Pilate then is asking the question. Jesus is there, and he says to Jesus, what is truth? He's asking on a multiple levels. He's looking at government, so he wants to know what political truth is. He's looking at the religious people. He wants to know what that is. And then his wife has brought him a personal message. So how is he going to deal with all of these conflicting issues that are coming his way? And so he asked that question, what is truth? He's not asking Jesus, tell me what the truth is, but he's implying that truth has no relevance. There is no truth. That there are situations here that he can't comprehend, he can't deal with it. Eventually, he will wash his hands of the situation, but he's asking the question that you and I must ask of ourselves. What is truth? We live in a time when we are told that there is no truth. Political correctness, I feel a certain way, has the power over truth. And why do we become then afraid of living by the truth? What relationships do you have that it's okay for it to not be true? If you're married, do you want a relationship that's not built on truth? If you're dating, if it's friends in your fellowship, is it on your job? But looking at the person in the mirror, how much courage does it take to seek the truth and to live by the truth? Now, in this case, Jesus says, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. We who have bought into Jesus study Jesus religiously. We study Jesus seeking truth. What are the principles and the core teachings of Jesus that I must base my life on and I must base my decisions on? Because he is truth to me. Now, he may not be truth to you, but what is truth to you? How do you make your decisions with social media, with fake news, and when I say fake news, I'm not saying that as a participant of a political party that uses it all the time, by no means. But I am saying news is fake. And not all of it, but there is fake news. There's distortions. There's misrepresentation. There are lies. So how does one come to the point where they know what truth is? You have to seek it at all times. You have to be willing to realize that what you think may not be true, or it may need some more expansion. That there is something else in every setting and every situation that requires you to grow. How do you grow and how do you seek truth? How do you apply yourself and apply your days and your time to ensuring that you are actually living your life abundantly, not being deceived and deceiving others unintentionally? So the challenge to you today is to answer the question, what is truth? What are you telling others that is truth? And I'm not asking you for a one-liner. There are so many of you that would say, well, the Bible is true, church is true, this thing and that thing. I'm not asking you that question. I'm asking you to back it up, seek it out. I'm asking you to go into what it is that you see and try it out and have a definition that is not an inch deep. Have some meat, some surface, because if you are dealing with some that goes beyond surface, some in-depthness, because today's world needs to hear from you where you've gotten your truth from, how has it impacted your life, and how does it keep you going every day? You may know the scriptures, you may know all of this, but if you have not had the experience of walking with Jesus, if you have not experienced his core principles, his parables, and have applied it to the men and women you encounter, the boys and girls, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of race, political party, or anything else, if that is not guiding you, then you don't know truth. But you can't live like that. So here is my encouragement to you today. Pilate 2,000 years ago asked the question, what is truth? And I'm going to ask you today, what is truth? Do you have the courage to answer the question without an immediate surface answer, but put some weight and the meat to it and go down to every area of your life and explain to yourself what truth is so that you can be one who carries truth? And when you're asked the question, what is truth, you will have your answer. God bless you. Michael L. Dublin Sr., hoping that there's at least 10 people in the world who will check out truth and be willing to allow God to guide them, that they will know that life is worth living and that Jesus' truth is enough.